Picture this. It's the late 1800s. You walk into a pharmacy, but it doesn't just smell like medicine. It's actually a buzzing social spot, kind of like a local bar. Pharmacists are mixing up these tonics and elixirs that promise to cure, well, pretty much anything you can think of. In this world, the line between a remedy and a refreshing drink was super blurry. And it's right here, in this wild mix of medicine and social life, that one of the biggest brands on earth was born. So today, we are finally popping the cap on a rumor that's been swirling around Coca-Cola for more than a century. Did the world's most famous soda really have an illegal drug in it? We're going to sort out the facts from the fiction and uncover a story that's honestly way more interesting than the myth itself. So let's get into it. All right, let's just cut to the chase and ask the one question everybody wants answered. You've heard the jokes, you've heard the whispers, but did the original Coca-Cola formula actually have cocaine in it? The short, simple, and pretty shocking answer is yes, it absolutely did. But hold on, before you jump to any conclusions, the real story here isn't about some secret plan to create a party in a bottle. No, it's a story about a wounded soldier, a desperate search for a cure, and a bunch of historical accidents that created a global phenomenon. The why is where the story gets really, really good. To really understand the drink, we have to first understand the guy who invented it. And let me tell you, he was not some slick businessman trying to take over the world. He was a man in serious pain just trying to find a way out. Meet John Stith Pemberton. He was a pharmacist who fought in the Civil War, and he got a pretty nasty wound that left him with chronic pain. So to manage it, he was given morphine, and, like so many veterans back then, he got seriously addicted. So for him, this whole project wasn't about getting rich. It was a deeply personal quest to cure himself. I mean, this timeline says it all. He wasn't trying to make a soft drink. He was trying to make a medicine. And here's the kicker. Back in the 1880s, people actually thought cocaine could be a cure for morphine addiction. So for Pemberton, the coca leaf wasn't some illicit thrill. It was a potential lifeline. Yeah, you really have to remember, Pemberton was basically his own first customer. He got the idea from this super popular drink over in Europe called Vin Muriani. It mixed red wine and coca leaf extract. And everyone was drinking it, from Queen Victoria all the way to the Pope. So Pemberton saw that and thought, hey, I bet I can make an American version that's even better. So Pemberton had his magic medicinal wine, but a huge historical curveball was about to change everything and accidentally turn his tonic into the soda we all know today. That's right, the first version was actually alcoholic. It was called Pemberton's French Wine Coca. It was this powerful mix of the stimulant from the coca leaf and, the kick from the wine. And it was sold specifically as a health product, a so-called brain tonic. And then, boom, everything changed. In 1886, his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, brought in prohibition laws. All of a sudden, the wine part of his French wine cocoa was illegal. He had to think fast, so he scrambled to rework the whole formula. He replaced the wine with a sugary syrup and then, this is the key part, mixed it with carbonated water from the local soda fountain. And just like that, Coca-Cola the soda was born, completely out of necessity. And this is how the brand we recognize was born. With the booze gone, the old name just didn't make sense. It was actually Pemberton's bookkeeper, a guy named Frank Robinson, who suggested Coca-Cola. It was a pretty straightforward name. It literally pointed to its two main ingredients, the coca leaves and the caffeine-packed cola nuts. And get this, Robinson didn't just name it, he's the one who wrote out that iconic flowing script that's now one of the most famous logos on the planet. Okay, so we know the cocaine was in there from day one, but why wasn't it a huge scandal? Well, to get that, we have to do a little time travel and understand how completely differently people thought about cocaine back then. I mean, just look at this comparison. It is mind-blowing. It's hard for us to wrap our heads around now, but in the late 1800s, cocaine was seen as a wonder drug. Doctors prescribed it. Famous people like Sigmund Freud were raving about it. You could buy it over the counter. So putting it in a brain tonic wasn't just okay. It was a state-of-the-art selling point. So, how much are we talking about here? Well, estimates say each glass of early Coke had about 9 milligrams of cocaine. Now, that's just a tiny fraction of what someone would take recreationally, but when you combine it with the caffeine from the cola net, yeah, it definitely gave you a little buzz. It did exactly what it promised. It picked you up. But the public mood started to shift, and fast. As the 1900s began, people got more and more worried about addiction. And then there was a much uglier side to it.
Newspapers started running these sensational, completely false, and deeply racist stories linking cocaine to crime in black communities. This media-fueled panic created enormous social pressure.
All that public outrage, plus new government rules like the Pure Food and Drug Act of 1906, put the company in a really tight spot. The very ingredient that had been their star attraction was now becoming a huge problem. Coca-Cola had to change, or it wouldn't survive. So how they get the cocaine out? Well, it wasn't like they just flipped a switch overnight. Around 1903, the company, which was under new ownership by then, very quietly started using what are called spent coca leaves, basically leaves that had most of the active drug chemically removed. It was this slow, gradual process that finally ended in 1929, when they could officially declare the formula was 100% cocaine-free. So that's the end of the story, right? The cocaine's gone, the brand moves on. Well, not quite. There's one more shocking secret hiding in that formula. So the year is 1929. It is official. The drug that started this whole journey is out of the recipe for good. That whole controversial chapter in the company's history is finally closed. Or is it? Here comes the final, absolutely wild twist in this story. To this very day, Coca-Cola still uses an extract from the coca leaf as a key part of its secret flavor formula. This is where the story goes from history to a modern-day spy thriller. There is one single company in New Jersey, the Stepan Company, that has a special permit from the DEA to legally import tons and tons of coca leaves. They use a chemical process to take out all the active cocaine. That cocaine is then sold for legitimate medical uses, like as an anesthetic for eye surgery. And the leftover leaf material, totally non-narcotic but still packed with unique flavor, that's what gets sold to the Coca-Cola Company. So yeah, the coca is still in Coca-Cola, just without the kick. So when you really step back and look at the whole story, it isn't just about a controversial ingredient. It's about reinvention. Coca-Cola managed to survive by completely transforming itself from a medicine for a specific problem into a global symbol of refreshment and just happiness. Its real secret ingredient was never a substance. It's always been its incredible ability to adapt. And that really makes you wonder, doesn't it? The story of a simple soda is tied up in the Civil War, addiction, prohibition, and social change. What other everyday products are just sitting in our homes right now that have these kinds of secret, complex histories just waiting to be told? Let us know what you think in the comments. We'd love to hear your ideas. And hey, maybe we'll tackle one in a future explainer. Thanks for watching.